watch. I was waiting for the umpire to come over and tell the water boys to get off the ground. Don't think they've been off the ground, actually.
No.
So waiting for the last of the spectators to get off the ground. Quite a good crowd here today too.
There is no way that a water boy can sit down on his haunches before the start of a quarter and just sit there waiting for the game to start. There's no way that's within the law. And that's both sides too, by the way, not just one.
Yeah, that's right. So, umpire's got the ball in hand. Start of the final term here. 47 points the difference. The Magpies in the ascendancy. Blake Miller up against David Mensch in the middle. And Miller gets it down. Hardman gives it away to Fitzsimmons by hand. He goes with a right foot kick to centre half forward. Season, or Van der Klooster runs back. Collects Season on the way through. That's not great. Now they break free handball out to Van der Klooster, so back to normal programming for him at cross half back. Goes out wide, looking for Murphy. Hardly sighted today. Sawney comes in, rides the bump from Parker and gets away on centre wing. Takes a bounce. Hardman bears down. He goes with the kick. Tumbling punt to half forward. Venables worked his way to the front. Schwennerson was good. Got it out. Leake comes the other way. Fitzsimmons wrapped up by Leake. Got the kick away to Hardman. He gives it away to Wright, who has been fantastic. Goes towards Kane Pittman. Schwennerson to come at him as well. They can raffle it. Parker running in the inboard. Gives it to him by hand. Bonner bears down. Comes backwards. Get a little toe poke back towards Wright. Over the top of it, Bonner. Van der Klooster in support. Was that a push? Oh, Punce. Whoa, Punce comes out if you don't mind. And Kane Bonner has hatched the footy and gives it back to Lockie Wright. Handballs it to Key. Gets onto his left, goes long with the kick towards the 10 metre square. Season comes across. Oh, is that DeSanto?
Yeah.
Yeah, he took the mark one-handed, gliding across in the pocket. And we'll shoot for his third. Got a bit of class, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He just runs across the top of the ground.
I just think I probably expected more coming here today with what I've heard. But
Me too.
No, I think he's been all right.
Yeah, he's been good. I'm not saying he's been poor, but I'm just saying.
Mate, don't forget, he's in a team that won the premiership last year. He'd stand out a bit more if he played somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
He's kicked 3 goals.
I'm just saying, he's done his job, but I just expected more from all the hype.
He's going to be a star at St Albans, I can tell you that. 14-9 when he plays there. 14-9-93 North Geelong. They lead Winch 6-4-40. Smith Holden Blood Suzuki, final quarter scoreboard, 2 minutes played.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was the only bloke that actually read the footy there when it was kicked in. He just stood there, he waited for it, he read it. Everyone else flew, he read it beautifully. And I tell you what, I don't think North Geelong will clear him to St Albans. He'll stay here, Jace.
Oh. You're an idiot. You are an idiot. Where are we going next week, Grub?
Oh, I don't know.
He hasn't got that far yet.
I have got one request.
Seems like next week's a bye. We're not going anywhere.
I have got one request, but I'll talk to you that about later.
Yeah.
So the ball back in the middle of the ground. Mensch doing the ruck work again, gets it down to Bonner, forces his way through the contest, goes back to Mensch, who kicks into the half-forward line. Coming across, Rickett. Oh, well done, Murphy. Put himself in front, end up the ball. It's going to be kicked off the ground, ends up with Pittman, and that's Kane Pittman. Doesn't pick the ball up. Oliver's on hands and knees. Both players fight for the ball. Umpire's going to come in and take possession.
He's played okay, mention. He's probably their best player.
Oh, yeah.
He'd have to be Winch's best player.
Well, he's rucked against 3 young blokes at half his age.
All day.
Yes.
And probably beaten.
Yeah.
And Oliver comes out of the contest, kicks into the forward line. Kick wasn't good, and it ends up in the hands there of Stevie Rickett, who goes over the top. High kick goes out wide. Cotter by himself, has time and space. Has Fitzsimmons further afield. That's a good-looking kick and hits the target. Fitzsimmons goes on with the play. Kicks into the half-forward line, looking towards Hutchison, coming across Season. Sees the ball over the boundary line. And it will be thrown back into the field.
Imagine if you put Mensch in the North Geelong team.
Cool.
They wouldn't lose a game, would they?
No.
I don't think they're going to anyway.
Anyway. That's right.
So the umpire with the ball, half-forward line. North Geelong attacking end. Pittman doing the ruck work up against Season. Pittman, Season at the front, knocks the ball down, picked up there by Bonner, quick hands, went to Leake, ends up in the hands of Tornier, fed the ball back to centre half forward, missed Bench. Miller just kicks the ball off the ground, but Van der Klooster standing there, takes it in his hands and kicks out towards centre wing. Murphy's the target, reaches up, controls it, goes on his right foot into the half forward line, and the mark's been taken there by Tricky, who's now pushed forward. So Tricky has options further afield, or not many of them. Mackenzie starts to lead for him and stops, so he decides to go backwards, and Sawney has the ball. Has time to steady, he's got no movement upfield. Tricky looks like they're going to be the target. He kicks in that direction. It's a well-weighted kick, and
That's
the mark's
a beautiful
been taken
kick
by Tricky. True centre half forward position now, so centre the ball up. He's got options out wide. He decides to go short, looking for McKenzie. He's behind, mark in front, not paid. Hands up in the hands of Hardman. He steadies and goes on his left foot. Kick wasn't good. McKenzie intercepted the ball. Now it's Swenison. And Brent Swenison brings the ball out. Parker, he's just got the right to stand by himself, I reckon. He might be the deliverer. He goes long. Van der Klooster in front. Swenison over the top. Ball to the ground. Mensch comes across. Picks the ball up. Handball over the top. And he finds McClure. McClure goes back inside. Well, he's shown plenty of it to Pittman. Pittman comes across. Has Leake over the top of the shoulder. And Leake will get the resulting free kick.
Like Joel Selwood, isn't he?
Yep. Kicks back out to the clubroom side in front of the broadcast box, and Van der Klooster has the mark. Went looking for Oliver and finds him. Runner inside's McClure. Has a player at centre half forward, ignores him and goes towards full forward. Kick wasn't good, and Luke Parker comes up with the ball once again. And the best three in the ground, Luke Parker by a long way, I think. His delivery's excellent. A little dangerous kick this time. Goes over the top. Tornier from behind picks the ball up. Short kick, that wasn't good also. Good interception there. It comes through. Murphy doesn't have the ball in his hand. The ball comes out towards Stephen it was, and I think he's got his second goal of the afternoon, it was. And they move now to 7 goals 4. Winchelsea, they trail North Geelong on 14 goals 9. 6 minutes gone. Final quarter. Smith Holden, Blood Suzuki scoreboard.
Grubby, is it just me, or do Winchelsea have a lot of players in their forward line that are the same pace and the same size?
Yeah, they do look that way.
Don't they?
They do look that way.
They don't have a little crummer. They don't have a little niggler. They don't have a tall centre half forward. They just have about 3 blokes, all the same size.
I think that'll change when Wedding and Hermans both come back, and then you've got
because you got Murphy, you got Tricky, you got Venables, you got. They're all sort of the same. They do the same sorts of things, don't they?
Yeah, with the players they got out, I think they've been forced to go with that today. So hopefully they get a full side in, and it might look a little different.
Back to the middle, Oliver. Handballs at nobody in particular. Mensch tried to get it down. Miller got it away by hand, did pretty well. Handball from Cotter over the top to right. And he runs free, right, takes a bounce. 65 out, goes long towards the pocket. Punched off the back by Wilson. Off hands and out of bounce for a throw in, right forward pocket. Magpies into attack. So, Season, do the ruck work for Winch. And Pittman for North Geelong. Throw in. Favours neither, really. Ball spills to the back of the pack. DeSanto. There you go. There's a bit of DeSanto class for you. Kicks his 4th. Don't know what you blokes want.
No.
15-9-99. North Geelong. 7-4-46. Winchelsea. Smith Holden, Blood Suzuki. Final quarter scoreboard. 7 minutes played.
I'll tell you what it is. It's you hear it in last year, you hear it this year, and you expect a Gary Ablett of the GDFL. And you're right too, Jace, because you've got another 15 players that are all playing fantastic football, and if they weren't, I guess this bloke could come in. But look, I'm with you. I think he'll be a star, but I'm also with Smitty. I think we did expect some bloke with a Superman cape, and all he's done is play very, very well instead of very, 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 very well.
I expected him to be in the defensive end and be, just one of these blokes that just controlled everything and did everything, but he doesn't need to be today because there'll be a time when he will go back. But I'm just saying. But I'm happy with his game. There's nothing wrong with the way he's played today. But
he'll end up with 6 goals.
He will, no doubt, because I'll get plenty of ball down that end. So we're back in the middle of the ground. It's going to be Hollins that comes over the top. Swenison has runners outside, and he uses that player in Pittman. Pittman stops and went back inside. Went back to Swenison, puts him under in pressure. Wright's got the ball, hands it over to Van der Klooster, who just throws it on the boot and kicks out wide. Player leading towards the ball is Hutchison. Can't take a clean grab at it. Cotter can't pick the ball up. Lockie Wright does this time and goes into the half-forward line. Pittman's up, down, picked up there by Fitzsimmons. Tries to sneak his way out the back door. Can't because Season's got hold of him, and the ball will be thrown up in the half-forward line.
And I'll get held down with this one too, but you see Rickett go either end if you want, DeSanto. But even though, and the delivery as well, but Van der Klooster up forward didn't look the same footballer as he looked down back.
So the ball comes out, and it's Fitzsimmons who's got the run of the ball, and hands and knees. He looks to feed it out. Bonner over the top has taken him high. The resulting free kick will go to Derek Fitzsimmons. He's just inside forward 50. Great chance here to go back and kick for goal. I don't think the distance will be a problem here. He'll just load up. Daniel Keys sneaking in beside him. Might think he's a little bit more gifted with foot, but I think Derek's done this all before. So Fitzsimmons hasn't trouble the scoreboard today, which is unusual.
Usually gets in for 1 or 2, doesn't he?
And he spent the third quarter almost the full of it in the forward line.
Got very close to the man of the mark that time and proceeded to kick the ball out of bounds on the full in the forward pocket. So it's a resulting free kick to go to Fowler in the back line for the Winchelsea side. Miller just sneaking his way back into the game. So with Fowler now, he goes in short. Venables leads up and takes the mark inside defensive 50. Season's provided the next short target for him if he wants to go to him. He ignores him. Looking to go just that fraction longer on outside, and Van der Klooster takes the mark. Wants to bring the ball back inside, but the runners aren't running, so he decides to go down the line towards centre wing. It's ball in the air, picked up there. Dunkley went hard at it, did well at ground level, still in there. Feeds the ball out to Tricky, has a player inside. Oh, don't know whether he saw DeSanto coming from behind, but he took the ball off him, went to Hutchison. Hutchison kick is smothered by Season. He can go down and pick it up and does well. Handballs the ball out. Murphy back to Season. No, he didn't. Ignored him. Went further afield and found Fowler, who drives the ball long. Long kick in, and Venables had the first grab and the second, and he'll go back from 40 metres out to shoot for goal. Going kicking into that breeze, might be a little bit hard.
Melbourne 12-9 to Carlton 7-16, 23-point winners.
Nick Moldhouse might be in trouble. The lady from the footy show might be giving him a barrel, and I reckon the kick's got into the forward line, and there's one of those players by himself. Gibbs goes out wide, finds Cotter. Outside 50, continues to go. Needs to be a good kick, looking for Heiss. Out there with Wilson, spoils the ball, brings it to ground, goes back, tries to click it, has support there from Fowler. There's a free kick against...
Why wouldn't you pay advantage?
I thought he would have. He pointed the other way there for a minute. I thought he was getting a free kick. But it's Wilson with the free kick. Nice kick inside. Went to Oliver. Couldn't take possession of the ball. He hasn't done as much as I thought he would have done today, so runs inside or 250 and kicks long to the goal square.
Mackenzie.
Off the ground! Off the ground. Oh, it's hit the post. So when things aren't running, things aren't running. That's through for a minor score. 7 goals, 5 now to Winchelsea. 15-9 to North Geelong. We've played 11.5 minutes. Final quarter. Smith Holden Blood Suzuki scoreboard.
Parker from fullback. Great kick. Daniel Gibbs, 50 and by himself. Don't know how that works, but anyway, by himself again. Goes long. Paramanov. Oh, hits him on the chest.
Lucky it wasn't a bucket of sugar.
Glad you said bucket of sugar.
Whoa!
Paramanov, Dunkley, high tackle on Dunkley from Paramanov. So free kick to Dunkley. Sawney on the boundary line. Doesn't see him. Doesn't see much probably. Fowler. Inboard. Goes to the middle looking for Season. Takes the mark. Second attempt. Right in the middle of...
Yeah, don't go playing around in the middle against this side, boys.
No, and he goes out wide looking for Tricky, who can now pick it up and give it back to Season. At half forward. Kick towards the pocket. Coming out. Parker again. Picks it up. And under pressure gets the kick away from Mackenzie there. Close to the boundary line. Still in. And they keep it in play North Geelong. They can't now. Season's over the top. Sees it over the line for a throw-in. Werribee 16-5, 101 leading Anarchy 8-7-55. Going nicely. That's three-quarter time. The Centurions, Grubby.
Is that at three-quarter?
That's at three-quarter time.
Werribee got the win in the last quarter.
You'd think so. Cotter in the middle now for North Geelong. Just toe-poked it a couple of times. But only as far as Tawney, Fowler. Cotter over the top of Key's head. In the middle of the ground. Van der Klooster tried to get it free to Mensch. Coming across half back as Hutchinson. Through the middle, Pittman. Go away to Cotter. Off a step. Still in the middle of the ground. And now Bayliss clearing kick towards centre half forward. Sawney comes out, taps it on nicely to Tricky. Now goes to the left foot from 35 out, close to the line. Morton pushed Mackenzie. Played for a free and through for one behind.
Good try, son.
To Winchelsea. They go to 7-6-48. Trail North Geelong 15-9-99. Smith Holden Blood Suzuki final quarter scoreboard. 13.5 minutes played.
He's not going to fool the old wily veteran in Beveridge.
I want to see the Luke Parker load up with a barrel straight down the middle. So Parker now being told to play on. I don't know why he had to kick to himself. Why did he have to? If it's been called play on?
No.
Not too sure.
Well, if you run out the square, you do.
Oh, yeah. Well, the umpire called play on. So he had to kick it to the Australia. Anyway, the ball's out in the half-back line. Picked up there by Stevie Rickett. Stevie goes one way, back the other, has support. Decides just to steady himself and goes over the top, looking for Fitzsimmons. Ball in the hands of Fitzsimmons. Turns his player inside out and goes on the right foot along the boundary line. Over the top of Miller. Running play behind is Paramanov. Tries to trap the ball, but it's work there from Winchelsea as Worley has some good play there. Ends up back in the hands of Bayliss, who goes back inside to Fowler. Fowler inside and finds Mensch. Mensch with quick hands finds Leake. Leake steadies and goes back to the far side of the ground. Good play there. Tornier through the middle. Takes a bounce. Got good pace. Kicks into the half-forward line. That's a better channel of play.
Oh, she's been stooged.
Didn't see it grab, so I was watching the flight of the ball.
Well, it doesn't matter. It was Mark, but Tornier actually jumped into the North Geelong player coming in, and she paid down the ground. He jumped into him and got bowled over.
So it's Venables to go back and shoot for goal. 35 metres out, directly in front. Into a slight breeze. Venables goes at goal. It's not going to be a good kick. It's actually out of bounds on the full, I think. And he still has some trouble with the scoreboard. It's 7 goals, 6 now for the Winchelsea side. Resulting free kick will go to North Geelong and Luke Parker to bring it back into play. So Parker has Steve Wickett on the far side of the ground if he wants to go that way, but he decides to go towards Gibbs, takes the mark. So on the far side of the ground, Gibbs this time decides to transfer play back again and goes back to Luke Parker. Has Morton inside, ignores him. Looking through the centre-half back position, a short kick, has to be good, and finds Pittman. He decides to play on again and back towards Parker, so he's had about 4 touches in about 3 minutes of play. Takes them on, handballs over the top, Hollins comes in and support, went back and collected the ball himself, went back to Morton by hand. He's got players inside, Pittman back towards Parker, just taking his time now and goes inside, finds Hess, and he plays on. He got the short player in the middle of the ground. Darcy yields, time to steady. Goes in long towards the half-forward line. Pittman coming across. Can't take the hands or can't take the mark, but at ground level, picked up by Kane Swenson. Slams it on the boot. Runs towards the goals. Or runs towards the boundary now because it's taken a V-line. Trip. And it's now underneath the Elf Clark nets, I suppose, down at North Geelong. And will be thrown back in by the umpire. David Mensch for the first time putting hands on knees. He's done well all day, the big fella.
Is he a good cricketer, Alfie Clark, wasn't he?
He was.
Bloody good footballer.
Oh, I think that might be called back. It is. The umpire says I'll do that all over again.
Not allowed to throw it to your brother, mate.
Hutchison was just about to off and gone.
It was young Hutchinson, the boundary umpire, was it?
Ball thrown in, over the top, tapped down, running towards goal. Hutchison over the top of the ball, picked up. Doesn't go anywhere because the Winchelsea boys come in and take possession. So North Geelong at 15-9-99, 7-6-48 to the Winchelsea side. We've gone 17 minutes, final quarter. Smith Holden, Blood Suzuki scoreboard.
Ball up. Comes to the back of the pack. Bayliss wrapped up. Umpire will come in and ball it up again. So deep into North Geelong's attack. Ball up. Mensch trying to take it out of the ruck contest. Is that high? Yes, it is, says the umpire. So Blake Miller giving away the free kick. And Wilson it is. Switches play to the outer side. Looks for Season. Takes the mark easily. Does well. He chips the ball to, well, Bayliss wasn't ready for it, but he ended up with it. Gives it back to Season, mucking around with it. Not as clean as the North Geelong half-back line.
Not quite.
Season comes through the middle again, has to fight hard for it. Wrapped up. Umpire says push in the back. Going to be a free kick, so lucky there. And if he can get up, he's slow to get up. He will get up now. Jeremy Season. Switches to Mensch. At right half back, goes to the middle. Venables goes up. It sticks. He takes the mark. Still in the middle of the ground. Plays on now. Kicks towards half forward. Dunkley gives him a lead. Goes in that direction. Takes the mark. Goes towards Tricky on a kick. Good kick too. Good mark at 50 and 50.
And 50. Well, look, and I don't mean to have a go at the young lady, but wherever she is out there, just have a quick look at what Brendan Beveridge did there, because she missed 2 or 3 of them in the first quarter, and that's a 50-metre penalty every time.
Yep, taking the mark and then pushed afterwards. So Bo Tricky will come down and kick the goal. You mark that one down too, Dale?
Yep.
It's in the book. It's in the book. It's going to be a goal. So the 8th for Winch on the goal line. Luke Parker and kicks his first. 8-6-54 Winchelsea. They trail North Geelong 15-9-99. That's on the Smiths Holden Blood Suzuki final quarter scoreboard. 19.5 minutes played.
Look, I think Venables, again, had come from down. He took a couple of marks. He's really doing all right, Venables. I know he had to go at him a little bit earlier for dropping a couple of marks, but at least he's getting to the footy, and now he's holding the marks, and he can hold his head up. I think he's going all right.
He's a good cricketer too.
Is he?
Yeah, he coaches Anglesea, plays at Anglesea.
Get a game at Werribee?
I think you get a go at Werribee.
You reckon?
What do you play?
Me?
Are you playing still?
No.
No.
Sub-district. Is he sub-district cricketer?
No.
No. Okay.
Can't be as good as you.
Not many are.
How's the sciatica going there? You all right?
Sciatica's all right, just a bit of cramp.
It's all the food you ate at
You
Food.
joking me, aren't you?
At least I left the table.
Yeah.
So back in the middle of the ground. Paramount picks the ball up.
Didn't
Wright's
bring
going to
his
lead
own
the
knife
race
and
for the ball. And he now steady steps back inside, and the kick half forward line is good because it's found Hardman. Hardman's taken the mark. He's been good today, showing a bit of that pace that he had. The kick goes over the top, and we'll find Pittman. He's just outside 50. Next kick's got to be good. Short little chip up over the top, and it's also good. Hutchison leads out, dives, and takes the mark. So I would imagine that Hutchison now will go back. He's normally a good kick for goal. Hasn't troubled the scoreboard either today, which is a bit unusual. And Rodney Hutchison now has a chance to kick the 16th goal for North Geelong. So plenty of time taken with the ball. 35 metres out, we'll kick from roughly that distance. Nice looking kick off the boot, straight back over the umpire's head. Rodney Hutchison has his first goal of the afternoon, and now the 16th goal for North Geelong. 16-9-105. They lead Winchelsea on 8-6-54. We played 21 minutes, final quarter. Smiths Holden, Blood Suzuki scoreboard.
I'll tell you a difference here that you notice. I know you blokes brought it up earlier, but Doggy Ryan makes a lot of changes through interchange. He's quieting down a little bit now. But in most games you'll find a fellow like this bloke out here, Kane Bonner, he come off the ground about 10 minutes ago and he's been off and he's still just going back on now. There's no way that Doggy Ryan would have one of his players, his gun on ballers, off for that long. So whether or not they've just basically thrown a towel in, I don't know. But it's, you know, he was off the ground for a hell of a long time.
Does it come down to options though as well, or is it just?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, options and no one.
Well, they both lost a player, so
yeah.
But you'd think the rotation would be better. Lucky they don't have limits of 120 because Doggy's exceeded that well and truly.
Oh, by half time.
So Bench back in the middle of the ground has a fresh air shot, doesn't get it, and it picks up there by Pittman. Put right under pressure. His Tawney came in and tackled him. The handball went out towards Eels. Tap further afield. Hutchison's going to go back and collect it. Tawney over the top. Don't know whether he's going for the ball. Eels fed the ball out the back door.
That's too high.
And Swenison is taken high this time by Venables. And Brent Swenison now has the ball. So he has Paraman off wide. Has to be a good kick and get there quickly. Mensch over the top, able to get the spoil.
And spoil to a player too.
Yes, and it ends up in the hands of Dunkley. Kick goes out wide. We're looking towards Leake. Parker's going to trap it. Does well, gets through it. Oh, he steps outside the contest and gets his kick to the ball. Foot to the ball. Has Paraman off. Slips as he kicked, but found Hardman. Went back and collected. Sawney's there now. Hardman's kicked the ball out of his hands. Gone back and got the ball again. And it's now Hutchison who kicks into the centre forward position. In front, Swenison. Front and square is Eels. Steadies, gets round one. Kicks long. I think it was smothered off the boot to the half forward line or to the full forward line. Mark comes out. It wasn't touched because the umpire's paid the mark. Ends up in the hands of Season. Long option. That's where he goes. Pittman's going to come back and intercept it. No, he doesn't. Mark has been taken there by Dunkley. It's been okay, I think, today. Just called a fair few times.
Yeah, he's gone all right.
Yep. So Dunkley now goes short. We'll find McClure. He goes back inside to the running Season, who's done that a number of times today. Found Sawney, umpires in the road, went back to Season. Brendan Beveridge doing a blind turn round himself there. Went out wide, the kick went towards Tricky. Tricky on the right foot, has a player back inside, nice looking kick, and it hit the target. McFarlane has taken the mark. So Graham McFarlane, he'll shoot for probably his first shot at goal this afternoon also.
Tell you what, you got to give it to Leakey. When all these blokes are sort of stopped and having time up there, he just keeps running and running and running. Don't get the ball much, but he keeps running and running and running.
So McFarlane comes in. Good side on the ball here. It's a nice looking kick off the boot, and it's going to be a goal for the Winchelsea side. Unless Werribee, got to get my colours right.
No, East, wasn't it?
Dunkley,
Before?
McFarlane.
How many
9
teams are playing here
goals,
today?
60. Winchelsea 16-9-105 for the North Geelong side. 24 minutes gone. Final quarter. Smith Holden, Blood Suzuki scoreboard.
What's the difference? How much is the difference, Matty?
Too much.
Yeah? It's not even three-quarter time here. Can they get back in this?
Not like Melbourne just beating Cullen.
Who cares? I back for all. Always have done.
I've got a girl at work that changes colours every week too.
Yeah? Yeah.
Don't go there.
No, I'm saying nothing.
Back in the middle, Paramanov goes up early. Stop it, Grubby. Come off the wing, Dunkley. Bit of candy, little right foot kick. Tornia has to come back at it. Wrapped up. Paramanov rips him off the footy.
When he
Could have
didn't
been a
have
free kick, yeah. Over the top of it, Leak again. Tornia. Out the middle right, if you don't mind. Just buries his way and burrows through and gets it out towards half forward. Matheson comes the other way. He picks it up and gives it away to hand by Season to Tornia. Back to Season, missed the target. Has to go back and pick it up. Key does. Does well. Handballs to Hardman. Back to Key. Over to the top towards Pittman Kane. Still inside the centre square. Chips the ball to Schwennerson Kane. Gives it back to Key. Key with a little left foot kick. Training run, Witches hats. Gives it to Miller.
Rolls Royce
Did that too easy, didn't they?
Pittman Kane, Swennerson Kane. Sounds like an old Western movie.
So Blake Miller, who's kicked 4 goals this afternoon, will shoot from 50 out, 45 degree angle. Comes in, northern end of the ground. Season stands the mark. Right foot, not going to make the distance, falls into the goal square. And no mark in the middle. Fitzsimmons handballs it away. Paramanov roving front and centre, if you don't mind, the big fella. Does nicely. And kicks his first of the afternoon. And the 17th for North Geelong, 17-9-111. They lead Winchelsea 9-660. Smith Holden, Blood Suzuki. Final quarter scoreboard, 26 minutes played.
I'm going to sound as old-fashioned as you here, Smitty, but I tell you what,
Old-fashioned as me.
you have a look at Season. He's running down the ground, getting handballs, giving handballs off, taking handballs back, and he's played pretty well in general play. But Miller's kicked 4 or 5 and probably could finish with 6 or 7, which means he won't be in my best players because he hasn't done his original job, and that's beat his man. When Miller's gone, he's got to be on him. No good running down the ground looking $1 million if your opponent's kicking 5 goals.
Thanks very much. So we're back in the middle of the ground. As I said, 27 minutes gone, final quarter. Hollands up against Matheson in the middle of the ground. Men's probably having his first spell for a long time. Hollands over the top, gets the ball down. McClure can't trap it, went towards Hutchison. Leak comes in, ball's tapped towards Key. Key goes out the back door and we'll find de Blasio. He kicks round the corner, goes towards the half-forward line. Pittman leads up for the race for the ball. Hands back inside, went to Cotter. Cotter has time to steady, takes a bounce, puts it on the ground, steps inside 50, goes towards goal, kicks flat and low, and in the goal square the mark has been taken there by Fowler. So Fowler now decides to chip the ball over the top when looking for Hermans. He's made it good because he came out and met the ball, kicks the ball wide and has Tornia in space by himself. Likes to run and carry and does so this time. Doesn't take a bounce this time. The kick goes towards Dunkley. Pittman comes across the front. Mark's not taken away. The player goes over the boundary line and the umpire says play on. The young kids just let it go on.
Yeah, but you've got to play to the whistle.
That's it. Van der
You
Kloester
must
has
play to the
mark.
whistle.
Van der Kloester on the half-back line takes possession of the ball. His kick comes back towards centre wing. McClure's the target.
Look out,
Over the
Scratch!
top. Ends up with Tornia, who darts away, has a handball back inside, went over the top looking for Venables, runs onto it, handball, just a little one to Bonner. Bonner, a short kick. Not too sure it was intended to. It's found a player in Stephen, thank you. Keep mixing him up. And the ball's now in the hands of Stephen. I think it was. No, it was too. He got it back again and kicks the ball out of bounds to the full.
You don't mix blokes up.
No, I do.
You just call Van der Kloester Hermans. He's had a shower.
Are you actually listening?
For the first
Ball in the
time tonight.
Ball in the hands of Morton, goes to the far side of the ground, over the top of Cotter. Ends up in the hands of Leake, who comes back inside on the left foot. Not his best performance, but that's a good kick, Leake, and he's found a target. And guess who it is? Stephen. And he's got 2 goals.
Stephen who?
Stephen Rickett.
I tell you what, it might not be his best day, Luke, but I tell you what, he's one of the only ones out there that has never given up trying all day.
So Stephen, a left foot kick at goal. I tell you what, he can kick a ball, this bloke. He's third for the afternoon. The 10th goal to the Winchelsea side, 10 goals, 666, 17-9, 111 to the North Geelong side, 29 minutes gone. Final quarter, Smith Holden, Bud Suzuki scoreboard.
I tell you another amazing thing when you look at it. Last week, that some of these blokes were coming out of the back line and hitting targets and lace out and looking $1 million. But it all comes together when you play a good side, and there have been helicopter punts and mongrel punts and flat punts, because maybe the win, but the pressure that North Geelong can put on you at this stage is a long, long way than what Bannockburn can put on you.
So back to the middle. Hollins and Mensch back in the ruck. Mensch gets it down, roved by Fitzsimmons. Doesn't sit for Paramanov, sits for right though. Gets around. Right foot kick, tumbling towards half forward. Runs past Heath. And as far as Bayless for Winch, gets it out to Tournier on centre wing. Can run free now, take a bounce, gets a Shepard from Bonner. Comes back inboard, kicks it straight into Fitzsimmons, comes back to Tournier, runs to centre half forward, gives it to Mensch. Nearly kick a goal from there, 55 out, measures the pass towards Murphy, and also Stephen coming out. Gibbs at the back, handball to Parker. In fact, it's Rickett. Rickett goes to Parker.
You knew he'd had to get it sooner or later down there.
They're like the Bobsy twins, those two.
It was going to go to him sooner or later, as all day.
Parker goes towards half back. Oh, over the top, that was high nearly. Leake kept his feet, didn't get the ball though. Bonner's in there as well. North with the numbers, gives it to right. There's the siren. And it is North Geelong 17-9, 111. They have defeated Winchelsea 10-6, 66. Goal kickers Dale.